This has to be the most stressful job on television, right?
It's pretty stressful, but remember, it's only one show a week.
Yeah, but it's live.
We've come to know him simply as The Weeknd, but the artist behind the hits, Blinding Lights and Earned It, was born Abel Makkonen Tesfaye. But don't worry, we'll keep referring to him as The Weeknd. You're watching Persona Pop, and this is The Weeknd. 10 interesting facts you might not have known before. The Savior Tier singer was born on February 16, 1990 in Toronto, Canada. His backstory is all but pretty, but he is the living, breathing testament to hard work pays off, and your past does not define you. When The Weeknd was born, both of his parents were Ethiopian immigrants living in Canada. Sadly, his parents, who were never formally married, decided to separate when he was still very young, and so he was raised by his mother and grandmother. He hardly ever saw his father and has no relationship with him till today. He began smoking weed at the age of 11 and later used ecstasy, oxycodone, and cocaine amongst others. The Weeknd started his musical journey in 2009, though it wasn't until a few of his past collaborations got picked up by Drake that his career really took off. But what else might you not have known about The Weeknd? Let's find out right here on Persona Pop. Number 1. The Weeknd is not his first pseudonym. When he first started out, he worked under the names Abel Official and XOXXXOOOXO. So where did The Weeknd come from then? Well, along with one of his friends, he left home at the age of 17 and dropped out of high school. He says, "We grabbed our mattresses from our parents, threw it in our friend's van, and left one weekend and never came back home. I hated my name at the time though, so I tried it as a stage name. It sounded cool. I took out the E because there was already a Canadian band named The Weeknd. And well, we guess it kinda just stuck with him." Number 2. His fans refer to him as a GOAT. Yes, it sounds really awkward, but it's actually a compliment because it stands for greatest of all time. Number 3. He's trilingual. Being the son of Ethiopian immigrants, The Weeknd grew up outside of Toronto in a multicultural neighborhood filled with fellow East Africans, so naturally, he grew up speaking Amharic, his mother's native language. He, however, learned English quite early on, but attended French immersion school, where he says they would get into trouble for speaking English. So all in all, he speaks Amharic, French, and English. Number 4. He worked at American Apparel. In 2010, around the same time as when he started making music, The Weeknd worked folding shirts at an American Apparel retail store in downtown Toronto. He began making music with the intent of selling it to other musicians, and his co-workers would apparently listen to his tracks while they worked without even realizing it was him singing. Number 5. He has a special connection to Jim Carrey. When he was 4 years old, his mother took him to see his first movie, The Mask. He says the film completely blew him away, and it even fueled his dream of one day attending film school. Fast forward to nearly 3 decades later, the two men were introduced over text, and The Weeknd invited Jim Carrey to his Los Angeles condo to hear some new music. As it turned out, not only did they discover that they lived in the same neighborhood, but Carrey also knew the exact theater his mother took him to see The Mask. And then, on The Weeknd's 30th birthday, Carrey called and told him to look outside his window. What did he see? He saw Carrey standing on his own balcony with giant red balloons. The story doesn't end there though. Carrey then invited him out for breakfast. The Weeknd recalls, "It was surreal. Jim Carrey was my first inspiration to be any kind of performer, and I went to breakfast with him on my first day of being 30. Number 6. His trademark former hairstyle was a pain. Literally. Up until 2016, The Weeknd sported some serious dreadlocks, even though it left him in a lot of pain. In 2015, in a Rolling Stone interview, he confessed that while the hairstyle made him stand out, it does sometimes give him headaches and neck pain. Though he added that he would probably cut it off if it started to interfere with his sight. Whether it did and whether that's why he ended up chopping it off is not clear. But we absolutely love the new look anyway. Number 7. He used to live in a haunted house. Okay, So this is not a confirmed fact as such, but in 2015, The Weeknd told Details magazine that his house in the Hollywood Hills is haunted, saying, "I've had sleep paralysis and I hear voices sometimes." He added, "I heard the hills are built over an Indian burial ground, but then again, maybe it's just the wind." Either way, he no longer lives there. The Grammy Award winner now resides in a stunning penthouse in the heart of Los Angeles. Number 8. Can't Feel My Face remains one of his biggest hits. His 2015 release, Can't Feel My Face and The Hills, made him part of the big leagues.
I can feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it.
The singles helped him join the likes of Elvis Presley, Taylor Swift, and the Beatles as the 12th artist to score back-to-back #1 tracks. Number 9. He's a very modest guy. He won his first Grammy in 2015 for Beauty Behind the Madness, right around the time he scored an Oscar nod for Earned It off the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. And while most artists would put it all down to hard work and dedication, The Weeknd simply says, "I think the stars definitely did align for me. Even though we put a lot of hard work into it, I just feel it was the right place, right time." Number 10. And finally, how much do you think The Weeknd is worth? Considering the fact that he's won 3 Grammy Awards, 19 Billboard Music Awards, and 5 American Music Awards, to name but a few, he should have made quite a bit of money by now, right? His accomplishments to date has in fact made him quite a wealthy man, and his net worth is currently estimated to stand out around $100 million. No wonder he owns so many properties and drives so many flashy cars. We definitely feel like we know The Weeknd a little better now. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to make sure you're notified of future releases. Let us know what you thought in the comment section, or tell us which celebrities you'd like to hear more about. Join us again next time for more on your favorite celebrities, right here on Persona Pop.